Hello and welcome to this board game life. I'm your host Mark, and I'm back today for I think my sixth video. I think I'm going to make this the last one of the day. But today I'm unboxing Zombicide Undead or Alive from CMON Global Limited. Now there's plenty of things to test a person's mettle out in the harsh western territories. There are cattle rustlers trying to steal your stock. There are bandits looking to rob the 1013 to Yuma. There's all manner of critters in a desert environment looking to deal you the death card. Now, the recently dead have started rising from the prairie graves to salt the living. This town is turning into cow pies. Zombicide Undead or Alive brings the zombie blasting action to an all-new era and location, bringing players to the middle of the mythical Old West. There's new survivor types like the Gunslinger, the Brawler, the Townsfolk, and Faithful, each with their own unique rules. Then, of course, there's plenty of zombies to destroy. New game mechanics like Balconies and the train will test players in new ways. This game is designed by Raphael Guiton, Jean-Baptiste and Nicolas Raut. The art is by Edouard Guiton and Giorgia Lanza. Published by CMON Global Limited in 2022, so it's been around for a little bit, but it's brand new to my Zombicide collection. It's for ages 14 and up, plays 1 to 6 players in about 60 minutes per playthrough. So, yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting to buy this particular one, but it showed up at the shop in my local game store, and I had a birthday a while ago and had some gift cards sitting there from family that I hadn't used, and I was like, you know what? Let's put it to good use. And we've got a pretty good regular Zombicide crew playing pretty regularly. We've done the Washington ZC campaign. We are about halfway through the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle campaign. And one of the things that some of the people have stated in that one is like they kind of missed the gunplay. And the day they said it, it arrived at the store, and I was like, okay, well, we're gonna have guns in this one. So, and then the other day, one of them asked me, so what's it like, And I'm like, well, I haven't even opened it yet. So here I'm gonna open it and take a look. All right. So before we get to the table and take a look at what's in this beautiful Zombicide game, I do ask that you'd be so kind, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll never miss content. And always feel free to drop a comment below, and we'll read and happily answer. All right, let's get to the table. I'm probably gonna have to zoom this camera out because I've been doing a lot of small box games. So let's try to zoom her back out. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Let's take a look on the screen. That's good enough. I think that, well, let's take it out a little bit more. I don't even have the full box in here yet. So let's just take it all the way back. And it is slow to respond. Apologize. I should have remembered to zoom this out before I started. All right, that will work. Okay, so there we go. The Old West. Lots of zombies to slay. And no, the price you saw is not the price I paid, because they had a 20% off go-in for the store's anniversary, and so I did get 20% off of that. So I'm like, okay, that's a fair price. I can deal with that. All right, so let's take a look. And I've already printed out some inserts for this to store my stuff. That's bad. Is that bad of me? I got my 3D stuff already printed out before I even open the game. All right, so there's a free CMON content that's probably way out of date. All right, rules and missions. So if you're familiar with Zombicide, it's not a campaign per se. They give you the rules, and then after that, they give you basically like 10 scenarios or 10 missions to play, and they tell you how to set them up and what your goals are, and they're fun. But they're they're really kind of a loose mission. They're just very kind of basic missions. But anyways, we are looking at a total of, what do we got? 60 pages total. And but it's not, there's not a ton of reading. If you're thinking, wow, I don't want to do that much reading, it really isn't. There's a lot of big pictures, lots of examples in the rule book. And if you've played any Zombicide, they're basically 95% of the stuff is the same. So if you've already played Zombicide, the only thing you really need to look for are those things that are unique or a little bit different. So like here, this is veteran Zombicide players, please note that there are no door tokens in Zombicide Undead or Alive. So we don't use doors in this one. And in like this, in the Zombicide second edition, when you got buildings, they have doors. So when you open up a door, then it spawns zombies in the dark areas of that building and stuff like that. So looks like they will not have that per se in this. So, but yeah, you got a player phase, you got a zombie phase, so all the players will go, and then the zombies will attack if they're in range, and if not, then they will do their spawning, and then it goes back to all the players. So there's, but yeah, there's, so really the rule book is going to stop at probably about halfway, well, maybe a little bit more than that. And then we're going to get into the missions, which are right here. And then, so here we go. We got missions. So we're on page 44, and now the rest of it is just like missions. So here's one. It's going to tell you your objective. Here's the map. It's going to tell you, this is a tutorial, so it's just going to use like 2 tiles. It's going to be pretty quick just to give you some ideas, and then they go in and get bigger. And usually now you can see you're going to have 6 map tiles out there for the remainder, and they're fun. So, all right. Oh, nice box. It looks like it's in a wooden crate. All right. So let's do this first. So all the zombies and stuff will be in here. All your survivors will be in here. And let me look. Let me pull this out so I can tell you exactly who's. And so we've got a bowler hat abomination. So he's well, if I'll be able to get a focus on him. Let me try it this way. He's kind of hard to see, but he's got a bowler hat. But this is the big baddie that will come out and try to ruin everybody's day. Here's our big old stack of different types of cards. We'll take a look at that in a minute. We've got all our character cards. I'll open those in a minute. And then this is one thing that's really cool about this game is I love that they've done these trays. Like, I think it was the second edition that included these. The very first edition of Zombicide, it was just a piece of cardboard and you clipped the slider thing on the bottom. But now, since the second edition, all the games have these plastic trays. So you've got basically left hand, right hand, your character card. Looks like this one's going to have something that will go up here. In the medieval game, it's like armor. In the second edition, there isn't a slot there. But then you got your backpack slots. So here, got 3, and then you got your little cubes to show your abilities and your health, and then those extras up there. So there are 6 of these in the game, 1 for each player. Okay. And, you know, essentially, you can play the game with 3 people, but just everyone plays 2 characters. You know, it's not really hard. So, all right. So the brownish looking colored ones, those are going to be the survivors that you can play as. Is it really that many? Oh, and then there's a Gatling gun in there too. So, and then these are all the runners. So they're the runner zombies are dark gray. And then we have, oh, they did wooden dice. So that's kind of cool. They're wooden, which kind of fits in with the old cowboy theme. So you got your bases for your characters, so you know which one's yours. You've got your pegs that you use on these player boards. And then let's take a look at all the other zombies. So there are some different ones. So we do have our brutes here at the top. Let me see, is there are there two types of brutes? Yeah, there are. So we got the 16 brutes at the top. So we got two different sculpts for the brutes. Normally I'm used to seeing just one sculpt. And then all of these are walkers, but you can see they're also different. There's male, there's female, there's different sculpts for the walkers. Looks like 4 different kinds. And so that's kind of cool. And, you know, it might seem like a lot of walkers, and it is. And I will say this, don't be surprised if all of a sudden all of them are on the board and you've run out of room or you've essentially run out of zombies. It happens. It does happen. So let's put, I think the dice, let's see. I think the dice were down here. I think those were there. I think the rings were here. I don't even know if I'm putting this back correctly. I think that's correct. I know he was here. All right, and then we've got the cards. So let's take a look at some of the characters. I'm not going to go through all of these. I mean, you know, there's the Abomination and there's equipment cards, and it's just, there's a ton of cards, but I think what's important is to show off the characters. Who can you play as? And there are 14 survivors. So you've got 14 to choose from. So, which is pretty cool because you can always play as different people. I mean, even if you play as 6, you know, you still got, what, 8 more to choose from when, like, if you do another playthrough or another mission. But here's Carl. He's a brawler. This slot here allows him to hold a melee weapon. So it looks like he gets an additional weapon. And the class ability is to charge. So he has a class ability now. And then here's the skills that you will gain as you level up. So here's Concepcion. She's a faithful. She may hold any weapon, and her class ability is Vade Retro. Not sure what that actually means. I guess I should have put Carl up here a little closer. So, and then we have Hannah. She is a Townsfolk. Her ability is Home Defender, and she may hold a rifle, an extra rifle. Henry is a brawler. He can hold an extra melee weapon, and his ability is Charge. Jeb is a Townsfolk. He may hold another rifle, and his class ability is a Home Defender. Jimmy, the Townsfolk, hold another rifle, and he's also a Home Defender. Casey is a brawler. She can hold a melee weapon, extra melee weapon, and Charge is her ability. We've got May as a brawler. Again, she can hold a melee weapon and Charge. So we got a Gunslinger, can hold an extra pistol, and Fanning is their class ability. Molly, another Gunslinger. So these are all going to be the same. The Gunslingers all have Fanning and hold a pistol. Pablito, another Gunslinger. Thomas. These will have different abilities down the side. Now this one's a faithful. They may hold any weapon, and Vade Retro is theirs. Trixie, the Townfolk, for a Home Defender. And Turner is a Gunslinger. So those are the 14 different characters that you can play as in this game. So, and two, if you've got multiple, like, Zombicide's very loosey-goosey on the rules. The game's about having fun, all right? So you can take these characters and play them in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle world, or you can bring them into the Space Zombicide. You can bring them into the second edition Zombicide game. There's really not a limit of, they're not stuck in this Western themed world, if you will. They're not. So Zombicide's very much play it as you want, have fun ultimately. So here's the box. You can see all this cardboard. So these are going to be your map tiles, and cardboard that I will punch out. These I pull out. I remove these, and then that's where, now this one's a little different, but say this, these will go in, these go in on the sides to hold the cards and some of the components and stuff. So I can put them in here, and then my map tiles will fit right in there. So I always like to print these things out. Usually every version has some type of organizer that someone's made. This one's very different than ones I've seen in the past. So I'll just have to see how this one works. But well, it'll work. It's all right. It's a little bit more, this insert's a little bit more generic than the others I've had. They've had a little bit more specific designs for the different things, where this one's just like, looks like it's just been made for the cards. But all right. So, all right. So here we've got our cardboard punch outs. So these are going to be your like starting zombie zones. Usually they're numbered. Oh, this one has a 1 on it. So, but usually there's like a 1, a 2, and a 3, but then we've got a boom, we got a sheriff badge, we got some crosses, we got the exit, we got a stagecoach, we got some boxes here for various things. Then it looks like we got a train. So here's a tile. So it looks like the train's going to be 3 tiles long. So I'm curious to see how the train is going to function. Like, will it somehow move around the tiles? So here's these tiles. So here's one, and then here's the other side. So they're double-sided. They've got numbers. This is a 1R and a 1V. So the book will tell you which tiles you want, which face up, and then you just look at the picture and you'll know the orientation of all the tiles. So looks like we got a potential saloon there. Nope, that's not a saloon. We don't have a saloon. I'm sure there's one in here somewhere. So, but yeah, these are the tiles. Looks like there's a lot of dead people. This must have been the saloon. There's all the tables and a room of a saloon, it looks like. And there's a lot of dead bodies all over this place. I don't know if I want to go into this town. There are dead bodies everywhere. There's the saloon. And it even says saloon on it. All right. Look, there's just death everywhere. Look at all this. Dead bodies wrapped up everywhere. Why would anyone want to go into this town? And there's the grocery store, full of dead bodies. There's a home for sale. This looks like a mine entrance. And the last tile. So yeah, that is a look at, and I'll show you, that's a look at these. So then these tiles just fit right down in there. And then I'll punch out all my stuff. There we go. All right, then I'll be punching these things. Some will go in here, the cards will go in there, and that's it. So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at Zombicide Undead or Alive. If you'd be so kind to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Help us get to 1,000. We really appreciate it. And if you know of anyone who might enjoy this content, please feel free to share this channel with them. We really appreciate that. And yeah, feel free to comment below. All right. Well, that's the game today. Thank you for playing.